So guys, I'm not feeling very well, so if I feel very croaky and I look the way I look, I don't feel well. So maybe this will just be a kind of like pillow talk. It's the beginning of a new year, and the note on which the previous year ended was such that we moved to a new house, and we're just trying to settle in. We're very grateful to God for the gifts. I mean, we ourselves did not believe it, but yes, it came true. And I mean, it was just God, honestly. And we're also grateful that a couple of other friends that we told about it who also took the step, they are also looking at completing and moving into their own houses as well. So like that was just the highlight of 2021. And I remember that there's this colleague of mine that was really very useful. I don't know what position this is. I think it's okay anyway. That was really very useful when we were trying to buy the house. So she said something like towards the end of the year our testimony would be in 2 folds or in 3 folds. And I was like, you know what? I'm not limiting God to 1 fold or 2 folds or 3 folds, but instead it's going to be in multiple folds. And yes, that was what we held on to. And yes, God came true. I mean, after the house, we had been trusting God for a new job for my husband, and yes, a new job also came as well. Why am I saying this now? If you know me well, you know that I'm a fan of babies. I love babies. And who would think that I'll get married and I mean we'll still have to be, you would think that with the way I love babies, 9 months later baby is already. But my husband and I decided that we're not going through the routine of, or the, is it routine now, the, which was the English word now, the expectation, is it expectation, the norm, yeah, I think that's it, the norm of newlyweds 9 months later. It's a good thing, that's the expectation of the society, but I mean it's not a compulsory thing, you really don't have to. So yeah, that was one part of it for us. The other part of it for us was the fact that I mean we had a long distance courtship. We got married, let me say, seeing each other as couples, as lovers, was seeing to get married. Do you get what I mean? So we really have not had the dating experience. We had not had the, the butterfly in the belly stage and all of that. We had not gone through all of that physically, so that was also there. So bearing that in mind, we weren't really all out for getting pregnant as soon as we got married. So wanted to give it time. And yes, another factor was my husband literally just got on here, I mean got into the UK. Needed time to settle in, get a job and all of that. So that was also another thing. But in the midst of all these things, trust me now, because I love babies, I was always like, on one, and we should just even have a baby like this now. Even though I do that, we're not ready. We're not close to being ready at all. That was literally it. But towards the end of last year, we got a new job, and I'm like, you know what? If you know what my prayer points to God had been, that seeing God, one of the reasons we can't make babies yet is because my husband doesn't have a steady job. The job he was doing at that time, or he's still doing, is a temporary job, is a contract, and the pay is fair but not very great. And it's temporary, so it was only for a couple of months and they'll dismiss all of them, and what happens in between. So we really did not want to start making babies or bringing that into our lives at that time. So we just had to give ourselves sense of, you know what, even though it's doing you gym gish gish to have babies, but not yet, not now. So one of my prayer points to God then was, God, you know how much we really desire this gift, but we can't afford to now because of this and this and that. Like, God, just settle this and make a way for us and perfect it. So yeah, lo and behold, he got a new job. And I was like, you know what, babe? I've always been praying that, oh my God, will do new job. Now new job has come. Biko, how far? What's happening? You know, that kind of thing. But even at that, there was still insecurities, and we weren't really sure whether we wanted to or not. Because I mean, it's a new job. We don't know what it would entail. We didn't know how first trimester would be with me, and my husband is quite particular about being around, being present, and being with me throughout the whole journey and all, which is a very good one. And I don't think I would trade for anything at all. So all of those things um were still were things we had to put into consideration. But lo and behold, yeah, on Christmas Day, I was like, no, let's do. And then we had to bring to the table what our concerns were again and all of that. But we're just like, you know what? Let's just hand everything over to God. If it happens, it happens. And there is actually no perfect time. There would always be something that would make you want to be like, no, maybe not at this time. No, maybe not at this time. But I mean, I had concerns. He had concerns as well. He had concerns as well. So it was actually a planned one. All along, did we do any? What was the contraceptive? Did we do any family planning or anything? I mean, we did not want to mess with my body, my body system already. So getting to use contraceptives, any hormonal pills or anything was just out of it. But somehow we're able to use natural methods to prevent pregnancy up until now. So what was I saying? Yeah, so that was it. So at the point when we decided that, okay, let's just give it a shot, it was a planned one. We just said, okay, so right now we're not withdrawing, let's just see how it goes. And then interestingly, it was a point in time when my I was very close to my fertile window. Yeah, so we just decided to give it a shot. My husband was 101% sure that he had already sowed the seed that day. But me, I was still like, no, Jerry, that's not the ovulation day. Go. So like, it's just still a probability and everything. So we still tried a couple days more, like trying to shoot your shot as many times as possible during the fertile window. Well, I mean, my husband was just very sure. He was not even worried at all and all. So yeah, like, we did that, and there wasn't anything. Fertile window went and passed, and then there was this 2 weeks long wait of, okay, so is it there, is it not there, are we trying again? And you know, about that time, the waiting period is like when you're not really sure what's up. That's when you get to hear all manner of things. You get reading stuff, and then you probably see videos of people that videos of how people waited, how it didn't happen very easily for people, and then it makes you just wonder if it has happened or it hasn't happened. Well, as it stands now, I'm just waiting patiently for my next period. And let's see what happens. I know I've got a fairly regular cycle, so my cycle, as I would not say has never been late. I think it has been once or twice. I was very stressed at some point. I think it was during one of this fastings, beginning of year fastings, and I participated then. So my period came late. That was the first one. Then another one when my period was late. Yeah, I think about 2 to 3 days late, and then eventually came, which was weird. I think those are the 2 times I remember having a late period, but generally my period usually follows the clock, like it just knows every point in time. So basically now I'm just waiting for my next period. If it comes, then I know it hasn't stayed, and if it doesn't come, then I know that it is there. But but that's not even the thing now. The thing now is, yeah, all of that was exciting and nothing until it seems like I have tested positive for COVID. And right now, a part of me is just worried that how will my body be able to handle all of these things. I mean, when COVID started, at the peak of it, that was in 2020. Yeah, that was in 2020. It was really bad. It was really bad. I mean, all the nurses on my unit tested positive except me. How people were testing positive around me and I did not test positive, I still cannot explain it. And God just kept me. I did not test positive. And throughout 2020, throughout 2021, we had loads and loads and loads of COVID tests, PCR tests, LFTs, and I never tested positive to any one of them until a couple of days ago. I was just feeling off, and initially I was feeling like maybe I exposed myself to cold a lot and I'm catching another flu or something. But I was like, it's not that bad now. Like, is this the way it will just be? I've had cold and flus, and how many am I going to have in this same cold, this particular winter? I've had a couple before now. So, like, I just did not want to focus on it so much. But it went really bad this morning that I had to just carry my phone and call in sick that I can't come to work. I was having a bad headache. I was feeling warm. My joints were aching me. I was just not feeling well at all. So I called in sick. So later I had to do a LFT. I had to do a couple of LFTs, and I mean the very first one I did, it was looking like 2 lines, and I'm like, I've done this test every day throughout 2021. No, maybe not every day, but every working day, or most working days throughout 2021, most working days in 2020 as well. At the time when the government said we needed to start doing LFTs, I had to start doing those tests, and I know what it is like. It's consistently I had negative results, and then now this one that the line is looking like, this is not normal. Lo and behold, I did the first one, I did the second one, I did the third one, and it looks like I was positive, which looks like, yeah, positive to COVID-19. Interesting. Like, what is happening? What happened? When was I exposed? And like, God, why is God allowing it now? Like, I could not blame God, definitely not. But it's just like, well, there's a time for everything, and I don't know. I honestly do not still know what to think. But beyond what the testing positive to COVID, okay, that was the LFT. So I've had a PCR done as well. The result is not yet back. If the PCR comes back that positive, then I'll have to isolate for 10 days. I started today, but if it comes back negative, then I'll have to return to work. But either way, I think I just needed a rest. I have been quite stressed because normally my holidays for the year, I tend to break it such that I work for about 3 months, I go on holiday, I work another 3 months. But last year, because I had to travel down for my wedding, I had to use the bulk of my holiday to travel down, such that I didn't have any holiday to for times when I was really stressed at work and I needed time off work. So that was it. So at this time, in short, I already told myself that come January like this, say I'm booking holiday. and I already booked one for the last week in January. I don't even know why I did not book second week in January. So let's tell you how much I was looking forward to having a holiday or a time off work, basically. So what I'm just saying is getting this isolation time, fine, it's due to COVID, but I mean, I really needed the time off work. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm not saying it's a good thing to have COVID or anything, but I am glad that I am resting at this time. So I've had a PCR done. I'm waiting for the result to come back. Yeah, that will determine whether or not I would continue to isolate at home or I would resume back. I've had all my jabs. In short, I've had a booster jab as well. But I mean, God works in mysterious ways, and time and chance happen to all us, and time and chance happen to us all. So I'm not spiritualizing the whole thing. People that have had tested positive, they knew God as well. So it's not a function of how much you know God or how much you love God or how much and all of that. It's just a normal way of life. Like, it happens, and in all, we just trust God for healing and to make us whole again and all of that. So the point with me now is, why am I testing positive at this time? I honestly wish I could get a microscope and see what is happening in my body right now. I mean, we're just like patiently waiting for the next period. I don't know how my body is going to receive the seed that has been sown yet. Like, what's implantation going to be like? I can imagine what my body will be going through right now, getting to deal with a baby, and then also having to deal with a virus. I'm like, body, please be strong for us, okay? Body, please. My prayer in the last couple of days has just been, God, please just give me strength to go through all of these things. Like, I just need strength, like beyond what I even think my body can do. Just help me next couple of days. But I'm quite glad that at least, if I'll be isolating for 10 days, I'll be isolating up until my next period. So we'll know what to go from there. I really hope the baby is there. I am trusting and hoping the baby is there already, and we'll not have to go through all the lines of getting to try and try and try and try. And for my husband and I, we've had this covenant of ease, that things come easy to us. And yes, God has been very faithful regarding that. And also regarding this particular one we're trusting him for, we know that he would not let us down, and he would make all things beautiful in his time. So basically, that's it. So guys, pray for me, pray for my body. My body should be strong for us. My body should handle COVID-19 perfectly, and also handle the baby well as well. And all of this COVID shenanigans is not going to have any effect on my baby. I don't know if the baby is there yet. Well, I found myself praying for the baby consciously, and just praying that nothing happens to my baby in Jesus' name. So basically, that's where we are at now. I don't know. I'm just trusting God. I'm all out for any pregnancy test kits or anything yet to me. I've just told myself that I cannot come and go and be anxious and go and buy test and see period on my first day or even before the due date safe. So I don't have strength. So I'll just wait until let the period come. If the period does not come, I'll carry my leg and go to store and go and buy pregnancy kits. But I'm just almost sure that once I miss my period, it is there already. The pregnancy test is just going to be a confirmation. But in all, shall we thank God for how far and how well. Lots of things, lots of dynamics as a family. Why am I looking pregnant already? I don't even know the one that is doing me now. Maybe not COVID-19, maybe not pregnancy. The symptoms of the two of them are just overlapping, and I just entering inside one another. I feel puffy. My face feels swollen. I think it's the COVID-19. I don't know. It cannot be. Ah, see, I'm not saying anything again. Bye bye.